Never in a million years I thought I would do a video like this. And guys, usually in my videos I've got Z, a boy, in the cut, editing it and making everything look perfect. But I'm just gonna keep this video very raw, very authentic, and just say how it is. And listen, for the past 3.5 years, yeah, when I left the music world, listen, a lot of people was asking me, listen, you was at the top of the music. Why did you leave? Why did you leave music? For the past 3.5 years, I've had every single day without fail, I've had artists sending me emails, DMs, snaps. I've had my friends try to send me music about, oh, listen to this, tell me what you think. And I've always blocked it out. I don't want nothing to do with music, I'm done. And maybe it's from my experience, the stuff that I went through. Do you know what I mean? The things that I went through, thinking about music, it always had a negative mindset. It brought a negative thought to me. But really, it was like, I think I had a lot of healing to do, a lot of learning to do within myself. When I jumped in the music scene, obviously I managed an artist called DigDat. And a lot of you lot saw the amazing things, and I get it. When you're from the streets, yeah, and you've changed your life around, and the people that knows you from a one way, like how you used to be, and you've kind of done a 360, and you're rolling with Little Man, and you're doing Yo My Peoples, and you're bantering, and you're doing things online. Obviously, people don't know how to tackle that, and they start thinking, hate starts coming because they feel like they can relate to man, which they can. And even with the progression with DigDat, both of us being in prison, both of us coming out of prison, me being in prison with his brother, me wanting to manage music artists. Trust me, I wanted to get into music management from seeing Crept, Conan, Stormzy, Section Boys, Youngin, etc. Being in jail, getting called out in the mobos. And being in open jail, I'm realizing like, listen, no one wanted to give me that time of day. Only because obviously I ain't got no accolades for one, and they must think, oh yeah, he ain't gonna take this serious. And the music world is very new. Like the scene's very new. Like people getting signed for 100K a single. It's only happening once or twice. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I remember like, I just wanted to be a music manager. I remember loads of artists I'm reaching out to. And at that time, I used to look up to someone called Gov. You get me? Gov, Catalyst, he used to manage many artists, Still Bangles, Mist. It goes on. And I was inspired by him, and a lot of artists wanted to get in Gov's eyesight so he can manage them. So I used to obviously watch him, and I was inspired. And before I got into music management, I got into events management. Had that conversation with Crept. I remember having a conversation with Crept, and I'm saying, look, you lot in that music space, I want to do something in music. I got some money to invest. How do I go about getting into events? And listen, I was a failed events manager. I lost more money than I made. It taught me something. Even doing events. I had my first event, yeah, and I was in open jail, and I had to be in open jail. I wasn't out for the day, but I had to get my friends to go up to Coventry and put on an event. And I remember, I think it was Young Bane and Abracadabra, because I remember Crept explained to me, listen, you can't just book Crept and Conan, you can't just book Abracadabra or a Young Bane. They have booking agents. I was very fortunate for Crept to like obviously through ball me and CC me with a booking agent. But even then we had Miles, we had Craig, and we had many other booking agents, but they were the main ones. And remember, dealing with people that do events, obviously they do club events, they do festivals, you got top promoters. Who the fuck is Bouncer? Like, oh yeah, I want to put an event in Shush Club in Brighton, or you get it, on Empire in Coventry. They didn't really take me serious, but I had to go through the right steps, and I started understanding, okay, this is the right steps that I had to go through. But anyway, putting on that event and understanding the unis were off. So having a venue paying, I think I paid about 2.5K each for the artists. The venue paid, I don't know, £1,500. Then you had to do the marketing, the posters. It cost a lot. And then having a capacity of 900, 1,000 people capacity, doing your roundup on your ticket sales and saying, look, if I sell these much tickets, I'm gonna break even or make profit. But the uni students are off. Didn't really clock that. I thought that Coventry as a whole, everyone's gonna turn up and we're gonna make money. Listen, I lost probably like 4 or 5K. But I kept on going, I kept on putting on events, I kept on progressing, I kept on understanding events management because I wanted to be a music manager. Anyway, come out, prison, released, not in open prison no more. DigDat's brother's like, yo, like, I got a brother, my brother obviously he's doing music, he's in the drill scene. I swear down when he said that, I didn't know what drill was. Didn't understand it, didn't know what it was. I said I want to manage him, don't care. Didn't care about the talent, didn't listen to the music. I want to get into management, I want to manage him. I had the opportunity of managing the artist. I didn't take it serious, none of us did. We just had the opportunity, there was no pressure on us. Anyway, going through the progression, going to the studio, getting producers, getting beats, getting other artists in the studio, listening to music. Like more time we're listening to music and we're like, yeah, cool, this one's a banger, we're gonna release this one. And obviously with DigDat having the tune Air Force, and this was one of the first songs that we made. We knew that this one, when we heard it, it was like, this is a banger, it's a banger, it's a banger. So we released all the other ones first, but we kept that one because in my head I was like, yeah, this one's the banger, this one's the go in this order. Anyway, like going through the trials and the tribulations, obviously me and DigDat parted ways. A lot of you at the time when I made the podcast and I spoke about the DigDat story, I was in two minds. It's like, you gotta understand, going fully legit from doing 10 years in prison, coming out of prison, and then being bumped for over 100K because you didn't have an agreement. I didn't know what flipping management agreement was. From the streets, I'm managing my friend's brother, but one, family, didn't think that money is gonna change people. So I remember releasing the podcast and it was mixed. But my mindset is releasing a podcast and showing you guys what happened to me so you lot can learn from. It was everything. And I knew at that time, listen, a lot of you lot are not gonna say it and I'm gonna say it how it is. Man paved the way for street management, for management. Like when DigDat came in the scene, when man came in the scene, how man was doing it, what you ever saw the Mad About bars, how man was doing it, yeah, we paved the way. A lot of you lot might not give man's flowers, which I don't need because the people give me my flowers. And this is why I'm still getting music sent to me up to this day, because I know what to do, I know how to develop artists, and I know how to make artists go top 10, period. But that podcast saved a lot of you managers and it saved a lot of you artists, because watching that you lot learned, and that got a lot of gems in. And that was just from ideas from myself. The only thing that I didn't know and understand was the business side of music, which after that, I made sure that I looked into every single bit, or if I didn't know, I had the right professionals behind me, making sure that everything was in line, period. So obviously, after having that podcast, releasing it, I feel like a lot of people was like, oh yeah, DigDat don't need Bouncer. Look where he is. Don't need him. Don't need Bouncer. Like everyone's always got some opinion. I don't really like my man, he dropped that podcast, like boom, boom, boom. Listen, a lot of you lot and a lot of people from the streets, if you got bumped for 100K, you wouldn't have dropped a podcast. You probably would have risked your freedom and probably end up in jail and still been in jail now. I went down a different route. I kept my head down and I changed the narrative. And I actually thought at that start, because at that start, it was just kind of DigDat and Little Man. And I thought, raw, like, I'm finished. Like I was living on check to check. In terms of like the money that I was spending, it was on jewelry, it was on drip. I wasn't really a big drip person, but it was on jewelry and it was on designer wear. You get me? So I had money in my account, but I think I went down to like my last 2K and my car was on finance, where all that was happening. I had to move back to my mum's on the blow-up bed and I was done. I thought COVID hit as well. COVID hit, lockdown, everything was done. So imagine that, thinking, raw, like, hold on, all my money is in that check that's gonna be released. A man's telling me, raw, boom, you're not getting your money. And then me being so low, down, and then everyone being happy. Because I saw it, it was like people, I remember like even people like DigDat's friends, Bounce is pissed, he lost his artist, ha, 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 you get me? And at that time, like, raw, all these things hit, man, I'm thinking, raw, like, I'm actually finished. A lot of friends was like, listen, believe in your ability, man. Believe in your ability. It's you that done that. You get me? It was you that done that. You had the talent and you had the infrastructure. The talent was DigDat. He had the amazing music and you had the infrastructure and you laid out the music. You put everything in place and you created something special. That's why I hate to say, and it's not with no vim or whatever, everyone can share their opinion, but that's why, obviously, if it was so easy, then the DigDat would still be in the position that he was when he was with me. And down the line, a lot of people started seeing, oh shit, it's hard to drop music and stay consistent. It's hard to be creative. You get me? All these things that man was doing when you were seeing, when we was together, it now stopped. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's not a thing where this conversation is all about DigDat. It's a thing where I'm just trying to let you know why I felt music was so negative at that time. Then I started, obviously, I'm Muslim, innit? getting on my deen, praying. And I was like, look, I'm done with music. I'm done. But I started realizing, even from being in Dubai 3.5 years, looking at the game, looking at people coming up, looking at the industry. After DigDat, remember, you got to understand, there was a lot of street artists blowing up, period. They said drill will never chart. You got to understand, I'm coming to the scene where drill will never chart. It's dead. People got masks on. The #1 drill artist that's doing his thing is Lowski, because he's gone down the mainstream kind of road, Forrest Gump. They said drill will never chart. Now I'm doing a music video right now where the whole of music's dead. It's died down. The big artists are not doing the numbers that they should be doing. There's only 1, 2, 3 of them. The ones that you even think they're struggling, so struggling. Drill's not there no more. So I thought, you know what? I live in Dubai. I own multiple businesses. I have my money. I don't need to want for nothing. When I was in the music world, I had to depend on my music management to pay my bills. Don't need to do that now. So there's nothing that an artist can offer me that is making me be like, okay, boom, I need to depend on the artist. I don't. But the only thing that I can share with you guys is my knowledge. The only thing that I can do is develop you lot. The only thing that I know that I'm the best at is getting you lot paid. Getting these top 20s, these top 40s, these top 10s. You don't not even realizing what's happening and how man's doing it. Even with Quengface, working with Quengface. The first 3 songs we worked on with Quengface, one of the songs is called Auntie. It's his most streamed single as a solo artist. In that period of time working with Quengface, shortly when the Quengface and the Ed Sheeran link up came, then passing Quengface on to Beans, one of my business partners, and me making a full exit from music. A lot of people don't see these things and you need to look at the numbers. And the reason why I say you need to look at the numbers, we can mention a female artist called Francesca, from releasing her first single with no music visuals, called Wanting Me. You can check this. The single's got 1.2 million views, but that's not the point. We managed to get a sync deal on TV, Pretty Little Thing. These are the things that people need to know, the business side of music, what to do, how to do it. But there's many people that's not from our culture knowing what to do, and that's why their music is developing, they're growing, and they're getting the record deals or the right distribution deals because they know what to do. Going to A9. A9 is an artist. Now, if you look at A9, none of these people have the greatest following, but they all have millions of streams on Spotify. Man's sitting down. Go look at the Young Kings. Go look at the Young Kings sample. Go look at all of these streams and the time that I've been working with him. And I'm a person that knows how to get artists millions of streams. And I see a lot of you lot will spend 30 to 40 to 50 pounds an hour in the studio, and that's great. You're putting in studio time. And a lot of artists make loads of music and they want to put out a project in the first 3 months of being a music artist. Who's going to listen? Who's going to listen? Who's going to listen to your friends? It's about artist development. It's about taking your time, looking at your single, sitting down and mapping out a marketing plan, how you're going to grow this single and what is this single for? Is it for radio? Is it for the streets? Is it just a preview? Like, what is it? What sort of treatments are you doing? What sort of creativity? You look at Meets Manny. All of these videos, they're sick. No one can't chat to him with visuals. That's his thing. Look at his last video. Look at Meets Manny and look at his visuals. He puts pride and effort into his brand. When you're a music artist, you are a brand. This ain't no joke, guys. Why do you think DigDat was the drippiest drill artist? Why do you think that? Before that, most drill artists had masks on their face. How are you gonna get flipping a Nike or Adidas or a brand endorsement deal with a mad mask on your face? These times they're saying drill needs to be banned and knives. Come on guys, make sense. And I'm not talking about just drill, because you've seen from the artists that I spoke about, the female artists, what we've done. And things like this are effortless. It just comes with a structure, being a part of something and knowing. Look, the information and the stuff that I have, I call content that I make, even with music, I call it $1 million worth of game in the music industry. The reason why I call it like that, because we got DigDat signed for around $1 million. Oh, I lost over 100K. I learned from that. I'm here to make sure you guys don't get fucked over by your management. You signing management agreements and then you're in a hole because you've just done a mad management agreement and you want out, and your manager is actually your friend or people that you don't know, but they're actually rubbish at their job. Because I actually don't think that there's many management services that actually is good at what they do, or they actually know how to develop artists. I'm just being truthful. In 3.5 years, I've looked at the game, I've seen people come through, and I asked myself, who was the last breakthrough artist? Who's the last artist like breakthrough? Like when I say breakthrough, I'm talking about on the levels as Ardy. Who was the last Ardy? I'm trying to think of that now. I'm trying to think who's the last Ardy. We can't say Central, because Central C was before Ardy. And he's done amazing. Management is amazing what they've done there. You get me? And take one note, at the start of their come up, they didn't do no features with UK artists. They didn't need to. They focused on their game plan, their USP, and it worked for them. But the reason why I'm saying all of this here, this is for music managers to be, music managers, producers, music artists. This is for all you guys that want to be in the scene, that's in the scene. This video is for you guys. And the reason why I'm doing this video, because in my head I was saying, look, this is the right time to come back into music now. It's the right time to make my appearance in music. It's the right time to launch my music agency and offer my services, because right now there's nothing going on. Years ago, guys, we would book a popping Young Bane, a popping Abracadabra, a popping Young'un, 2, 3K, 2.5K. Guys, there are events companies, there's uni campuses up and down the UK. Everything's not about money, it's about developing yourself as an artist. Why is it now that these same artists, and I'm not talking about the Young Banes, the Young'uns, the Abras, now we're having to book them for 10K. How can we afford that? Look at the living crisis. How? How are we meant to book an artist for 10K, book the venue, and then do marketing? It's gonna come up to like 13, 14K. What's that? And then the capacity might be 600, might be 1,000 capacity. Like the uni students, how much are you gonna sell the tickets for? That's if you can even sell out your event. You might not. Then you ain't even making a return, much profits back. A lot of people always look at the fee. And if I've got artists here and I'm developing artists, yeah, I want this artist to have 100, 200 shows up and down the country. First year, get booked 2.5K. It's not about the money, it's about growing. Listen, one thing Krypton Conan taught me, bro. I remember being in open jail, going to Reading and Leeds, going to Blackpool. We went to Blackpool, yeah? And they performed in Blackpool. And they was performing, I was like to them, why are you performing these songs? Where's Last Night in LA? Where's all these songs? And they said, you know what, Bounce? Our fan base in the UK, in London, know about Last Night in LA. It's gonna show. But we need to perform more mainstream songs because these people don't know Last Night in LA. We need to get the crowd going. We need to be better performers. And it made me realize, it made me realize that it's not what it seems, guys. Because a lot of us will release music and get one banger and it goes viral. Listen, I told you guys, Tats and Potion by Hazy. I told you guys, I said on my snap, I said, Hazy, if you're listening, do not sign this track to the labels, bro. I'm not anti-labels, but my thing is very different. I love Austin, bro. Amazing. You come from Spotify, then to Apple. You come from radio, Spotify to Apple, now at the labels. If anyone that signs to Austin, I'll say sign. He knows what he's doing. But I'm just talking about the labels as a whole, the infrastructure. A lot of them don't know what they're doing, you get me? And there's amazing A&Rs and presidents that do know what they're doing. So this is not shade on people that are working in the labels, but I'm just saying, I done a post on my Snap and I said, do not sign this song to the labels. Why are you gonna have a song that's blowing up on the streets and then you're gonna sell it? You've already done the hard part. This is what all you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for this. Why are you gonna sell it? You think we sold Air Force? DigDat wanted to sell it. I said, brother, do not sell Air Force. What are you gonna give, man? They're offering man 60, 70K. Do you know how much money Air Force has made now? Over £350,000. Over. Man's selling the song. This is what labels do. Look, I'm gonna tell you straight with the labels as well. Because we started this USP, the infrastructure. Remember, look, guys, and you can look back, and I'm not saying there was never ever a remix, but Air Force, we released the Air Force song and it was doing over 100,000 views every single day. We didn't know what ads was, bro. We're from the streets, we didn't know about that. We're looking at our thing and this is the same day, I think it was on the Thursday, that Unknown T, Hommit and B got released, and on the Sunday, Air Force got released. Unknown T, Hommit and B was popping. The labels signed it. We had artists, everyone going mad. We had Air Force there. Air Force were doing over 100,000 views every single day for 4 months. 4 months. These time I've linked up with Colin. I remember Colin had a meeting with Krept and Conan. I linked up with Colin and we're like, look, we want to do a remix. Like this thing's entering the charts. We're in like the top 100 in the charts, bro. Like this song, it's not got no label backing, nothing. It's got nothing, bro. It's in the charts. What's it doing in the charts? So yeah, man, we managed to get the Air Force, the remix, me, Arts and Krept, Conan and K-Trap to jump on it. I remember Krept saying to me, are you sure you want me to jump on this? Or man, we'll kind of compact in the next song. I was like, nah, my bro, can you jump on this? And bro, we done the remix. Do you think we knew, if we do 2 songs, it's gonna count as 1 song? No? We done the remix, we released it. I remember at that time we had the most views on GRM in one day. I think it went to like 450,000 views in a day. Just remember, we're paving the way, guys. Anyway, on Monday's hit, we're in the charts. We're like 23 in the charts. We're like, shit, we're in the charts. We're about to make history. What happens now? We're pushing the song. Friday hits, top 20, made history. Song independent, we made history, guys. Never happened. Drill will never chart. Drill charted. How about that, bitch? Guess what, guys? What happened after that? Every label knew this is the cheat codes. Gunlean came. Big shout out to Russ, my brother. Gunlean came. What happened with Gunlean? They done a remix. What happened? It went #1. Keisha Becky came. Big shout out to Russ again. They done a remix. It went #1. Now, guys, if you do a song with a remix, this is the cheat code. It might go top 30 in the charts. You drop it, bam, body, bam. Come on, guys. Before that, these things weren't happening like that in the music industry. I'm just stating the facts. They might not tell you, but I can tell you this. And man is independent. And I'm coming through the music world now. I don't need no backing. I've got money. I've got infrastructure. I know how to develop artists. And I've got a good ear of music. So, yeah, man, like me just explaining to you guys like the steps and me watching the music industry now, I'm thinking, now is the right time to come in. All the riff-raff's gone, there's no garbage music now. You can't just release a song and it's gonna get mad numbers of streams. And I'm thinking, now I can jump in, I can develop artists, I can offer my services. And listen, legacy is everything. I believe, look, even though in the music world, they might not talk about my flowers, but my action, it speaks for itself. I'm not a talker, I'm a doer. So legacy is everything. So the fact that I'm coming back into music, there's gonna be many more top 10 artists. There's gonna be many more artists that's got millions of streams. There's gonna be many more things. There's gonna be many more ways of developing artists. Listen, I live in a villa in Dubai. Man's gonna fly over artists to stay in the villa, have a little mentorship with me, shoot their music video. Man's gonna sit down and do the whole marketing and see how they grow, but how they develop. Even when it comes to, I thought of something as well. Even for a lot of up and coming artists, they always ask for management. I need management. So I thought of a service where me and my team will deal with all your admin and your management and your structure. But guess what, guys? You don't need to pay your manager 20% of your music revenue. You can keep all that stuff by yourself. You can keep 100% of your music revenue for you. I thought of all these factors because there's always complaints, even in the music scene, yeah? Why in the labels, why does artists always blame the labels? Oh, it was my label. No, bro. You didn't put the right terms and conditions in your contract. Simple. You got put in the shelf. You didn't put the right terms and conditions. You didn't have the power. You need to have the power. You need to know when to sign. Does it make sense to sign? A lot of people want to go down this independent route. I want to be independent. Are you even an artist to be independent? Like, understand. Look at Paul Saloon. Look at him. Label's done an amazing job with him. When he comes out, I hope his career goes back to, but look at him. Label's done an amazing job. Look at Heady One. Label's done an amazing job. So a lot of people will go online and they will blame the labels and say, this is what happened with my label and this is what happened. You get me? But I just think it's all down to you. And a lot of you lot have your friends as management. I'm not saying not have your friends as your team, but look, your friends don't know what they're doing and they're not willing to put in the shift. They're willing to go with the flow. They're willing to do 100 features and think is the right move when they need to see what makes sense. Sometimes people with 500,000 followers, they've had 500,000 followers for 3-4 years, and they reach out to you to do a song, they might not be popping. You need to look at someone might have 30 or 40K followers, and they might be warm, and they might have a hot song on the streets. They might have 10 million streams. You're like, okay, let me do a feature with this one. You need to understand, have the right brain. Even with me learning the stuff what happened, the trials and the tribulations that happened with myself, and me investing in the right beat agreements, the right management agreements, PR, like things like that. Me offering all these things to you guys where you don't need to spend thousands of pounds on the right agreements. You get what I'm trying to say? So what I'm gonna do, you're watching this on Sunday, guys. On Sunday, I am doing a free webinar with more information of how to be a part of my community. There's gonna be some information below, guys. There's gonna be an information, you fill it in, and it's gonna give you an invite link to join my community, guys. And look, you gotta understand this. There's never unlimited amount of spaces. There's always things get capped. So don't be that one to jump on it or jump on this right now. Because one thing I know from all the stuff I've worked with, and guys, I'm great at producing and making a product do very well. I'm not a one-hit wonder. I've done amazing in the music industry. I've done amazing in the boxing industry. I jumped into boxing when they said, the influencers, it wasn't cool to do boxing. Look at boxing now. Look at it, guys. Everyone's got an energy drink. Everyone. Go look at it. Man started these things from before. So what I'm saying to you guys is, look, be very quick, because there's going to be a number of artists that man's going to change you lot's life. So go to link in the bio and fill out your details, and we'll send you the next steps, man. Just get ready, man. Whoosh.